Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? And so now you're in this position, you have this really similar journey where suddenly in whatever sense of the reality you live in, you're a star, building these amazing things around you, amazing relationships, amazing family. And yet, somehow, even though you go through this building process, like the same thing that I experienced, you lose it all. And I think that losing it all, one, I would love for you to go into that a little bit. And two, how do you rebound from that? Because I feel when most people hit that space of, I've lost everything, that becomes their identity and that is the rest of their life.
Yeah. Oh man, I lost $1 million in 2 days when we were met with the pandemic in March of 2020, and it was an interesting moment because I can recall it very vividly of just like how quickly those phone calls came in and how quickly everything that I'd worked for about 5 years previous that I was building just got decimated over. And there's a very deep realization of what's important in that moment. Like all of it can just be taken away instantaneously, but I can't get back the time that I missed or the memories that I gained, whether they were positive in building or whether they were challenges that I overcame. It doesn't make a difference. Like you were met in that moment with like how life is truly like a vapor and how the things that you build can be erased and demolished in an instant. And how at the same time you can stand in the gap. And if you can be unbelievably present and stand in that moment, you can go, okay, what do I believe? Because events are always going to happen in our lives. And the path that most people take is those events are immediately followed by a feeling. So if I lose $1 million in 2 days, I'm a loser? That I have nothing to offer the world? That everything and everyone is out to get me? Hell no. Thankfully, I had done the work to sit there and say, what do I believe? I believe that everything happening in and out of its season, it's here as a benefit to me. I believe that God has called me to be a conduit of the world, to give in one hand, to receive in the other, and to be a blessing to other people. I believe that every single person who comes into my life is for me. And the ones who are not, the life lessons will be learned.
Truth.
I had to move into my beliefs as the filter of the emotions that I was experiencing. And here's the deal. The emotions of our life are treasured, like treasured a human part of human experience. They are so treasured that they should have a lock on them, that they should be protected and insulated because that's the treasure of your life. So I've just watched most people walk through life and what happens? Event. What does that determine? Their feelings, poor me. And they live a poor me life. They live a victim mentality. They live in that world of not enough. And then their beliefs just confirm the emotions that they've already projected out into the world. That's the emotional return on investment. Is if an event happens and your emotion follows, guess what? Your beliefs are going to solidify your perspective. So I found a better way. And I met with a Taoist monk who changed my life. This happened. He's 45 years a psychologist, incredible guy. And he said this. He said, if you can replace after events that happen in your life, if you can replace those events followed by your beliefs and not your feelings, it'll change your life. And that simple formula changed everything. And so in that moment, I was prepared to go like, where's my book with my beliefs? Where's my book of beliefs? Where is it? Because I had 10 I'd write down, right? And at any moment when I felt like I was struggling, I would just go back to that book. I go back to that book. I go back to that book. And many things have happened since then. And guess what? Those beliefs, they still stand true. From 2 years ago, they still, almost 3 years ago, they still stand true. And so that's my call really for people today is like, you're going to have events that are going to happen in your life. You allow your emotions to immediately follow your events. You're always going to be like a feather blowing in the wind. And you're always going to allow the beliefs that you carry, which are really rooted in a lot of identity, those things are going to be solidified by the waves of your emotion. And so my call to you is to allow your beliefs to be the grand filter of your life, to allow events to happen because they always will. But my first question after a hard event is, what do you believe about this situation? So as long as it's rooted in truth, honesty, and integrity, and not criticism, comparison, and judgment, you will find the life lesson very quickly and you will live a redeemed life.